Hello, welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar. And they call me on the phone. They ask me, they say, hey man, what's your show about? I say, well, it's about an hour. It's about guitar players, guitar playing, and all things guitaristic. So if you want to call me on the phone and ask me about, how to play the guitar, what kind of, for you, the care and feeding of your guitar. We'll talk about a related topic like the guitarron, the cithara, the sitar, the lute, the oud, the vihuela, chicholes, banjos, balalaikas, bazookies, tiples, cavaquinhos, bajos, sextos, ukuleles, banjolales, guitarlales. We'll talk about saxophones, sackbuts, trombones or trombomarinas, pipe organs, piccolos, accordions, harmoniums, harmonicas, clarinets, clavinets, cornetos, cornets, politics, world events, your own personality problems, that's fine. Give us a call here. We're here for you, but keep it clean. This is a family show. All right, so this week I'm trying out this guitar here. This is a, what is it called, an SD? This is a DBZ, and the guy who, Dean Zelinka, or whatever, the guy who founded Dean Guitars, sold his company a couple of years ago, apparently, and started another company. And so he's making these guitars. And this thing's very unusual, unique sort of thing. It's very, very thin. It's like a blade. See? And I've been looking at this at a guitar shop. So I decided to take it home and bring it on the show and fool around with it. The thing about it, it's one very thin but very solid piece of wood. And it zings. I mean, I know you can't feel it at home, but the whole body is alive. I mean, like, one thing I do when I pick up an electric guitar, like a solid body especially, is when if I play a note on it, even when it's not plugged in or not turned up, and I could feel the neck vibrating. I could feel the whole thing kind of having a zing to it, like, hitting a bell or something. So this one does that really well. It's, the reason I'm interested in it is because I want like a jazz guitar that I can play that's not a big hollow body, that doesn't require really heavy strings. So this has just, the strings they put on it in the shop is kind of light 10s or something. I like to put 13s, 14s even on a hollow body jazz guitar. And it's really thin little strings. So anyway, it's kind of cool. I mean, anyway, I'm into it. I also brought my Diarmond, which I've been playing a lot, and Josh brought in his Telecaster, which used to be my Telecaster, and he doesn't get played much. And it's the thing about having a lifestyle where you have time to play your guitar. You say you have to stop and smell the roses, and that's all fun and everything, but I mean, sneeze. But you have to have time to sit down and play your guitar. Oh. Hello, you're on Tom's Guitar Show.
Hi, Tom, it's Bob.
Hey, Bob. Calling us from Vegas, huh? How are things in Las Vegas?
No, I think it'll be okay for me to hang up. I'm hearing both phones. Oh,
Okay.
All right, I think Phil's gone now. I was hearing both phones there for a minute.
Okay, I think...
Anyway, Friday we went out to Las Vegas, got their own chapter of Burning Man now. We went out and saw that Friday night.
Las Vegas has their own Burning Man?
Yeah, the big one that they do out in the desert,
Yeah.
they've reached their limit of what their permit allows. So the Bureau of Land Management told them they got to start restricting how many people can get there, so they're encouraging people to have them other places. So they had one Friday night in Las Vegas.
Huh. In Las Vegas? People,
Yep.
Don't people like drive around in like homemade vehicles and get naked and stuff like that?
Well, I didn't see anybody naked. There were lots of people that were looking a little bit drunk, and I smelled a few things that people were smoking that smelled like what you might expect.
Yeah. Well, that's normal for Las Vegas, isn't it? I mean, people being drunk at least. I mean.
Yeah. You don't go very far after dark around here without running into a drunk.
Yeah.
But anyway, they just had thousands of them, and it's right near downtown, or between downtown and the Stratosphere. So there's a traffic jam for miles around. Everybody together in a couple blocks. They block off a couple of blocks, kind of like they do for Beef Days in Solon or the Sauerkraut Days in Lisbon. And anyway, everybody's jammed into them, watching the thing go off, and bands and dancers and fire jugglers and lots of stuff.
That sounds like fun, I guess.
Yeah.
I've been
Well,
to Solon Beef Days, but never Burning Man.
I got a little footage I'll bring back when I come.
All right. Well, we'll have to do a whole thing. I'll have you know it's 1 degrees today here.
That's about what it is here, too.
So what are you doing there? You could be here and enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, I might as well be home.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, this week's NASCAR week, so there's race cars all over town, in the mall parking lots and things, places where you can go meet race car drivers. I haven't done any of that. Well, I saw a couple of cars in the parking lots, but haven't gone off to meet and greet any drivers yet. But they have this coming weekend, they have a couple NASCAR races, NASCAR week.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of fun there, don't you? When you get around, don't you?
Yeah, we get around and see as much of it as we can.
Huh. So does it cost much to hang around? I mean, if you don't gamble and stuff, I mean.
No, you can live here for about what you can anywhere else. And, some things are higher, but as far as Walmart and Walgreens and those kind of places, they charge the same here as they do anywhere else. There's a Walgreens on about every half mile out here.
Huh. Well, you can get pretty much everything you need at Walgreens. You can get food and clothes and household appliances.
And they got Walmart and Kmart and Target, all those things.
Yeah. Huh.
So if you get away from the Strip, it's not that much different than any other town.
Well, I should think you'd be able to hang around without spending money, though. I mean, if you don't like gamble and stuff, if you just want to look at weird people or something, I mean, that wouldn't cost anything, would it?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can see for free. Well, I brought back some footage before. They haven't started running that pirate ship show yet, but they'll have that when the weather gets good. And they've got that light show down on Fremont Street every night. Right now, I'm out at Sam's Town, and I was just watching. There's a water and laser and robot show in there where they got robot wild animals, a puma and a bear and an eagle and a wolf. They all stand up and sit down and howl and roar and whatnot, and lasers flash against the water shoots around. They end the water show up at Bellagio. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can see for free.
I see, man. So the most important question: do you think there's much work for guitar players these days, or you think it's still might as well stay home?
I think it's a tough place to find a job no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
Unemployment in Nevada as a whole is still one of the highest in the country, and the casinos are all still cut back. It hasn't here yet to speak of.
Well, as long as you got that TIAA crap, you don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Yeah. My pension comes every month, so unemployment doesn't bother me personally much.
Yeah. Well, you feel bad for other people, I suppose, but.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of people on the corners with the "Please help the homeless" signs. They're all over the place out here.
Yeah. Well, some of them are probably just professionals, but I suppose.
Yeah, I know. One of the Cedar Rapids TV stations show about that one time, about the ones in Cedar Rapids, and some of them make a pretty good living at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know there are a lot of homeless people out here. There really are people that are in bad way.
Yeah. Well, there are. Well, there are here too, of course. But
yeah,
that's the way it goes, I suppose. But huh. Well, as long as you're having fun, I don't know. You see any shows, any music or?
No, we haven't been to any of them yet. We've gone to a couple movies. They've got Sam's Town here has got a cheap senior movie on Tuesdays. You can see any movie they've got all day Tuesday for $3. So we've been to a couple of those.
Yeah.
Except for the price, you can do that at home, and the drive costs more than you save on the tickets. So I wouldn't come all the way out here for that.
Yeah, come all the way out to see a $3 movie, huh?
Yeah.
You can watch them at home with Netflix, But
yeah.
They got those red boxes too, but yeah, well, that's good. Well, I'll stay in touch. And when are you coming back?
Well, we're going to leave here at the end of March. We're going to go up to Seattle and see my daughter for a few days. Then we're coming back. I think it's the 11th of April. I got an appointment at the senior center there in Iowa City to get my income taxes done. So we'll be back by then.
Okay. Well, you'll miss our next Tom's Guitar Show special, but at the end of March, we're going to have I guess the whole string band, and
oh,
be kind of fun. You can watch it on computer someplace on the feed. But yeah, we're going to do it up. So maybe the month after that, you can go back to reading for us and narrating things.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll get back to that in April, I guess.
All right. Well, you take care of yourself. Call in next week if you can.
Okay. Hey, did you play something for Davy Jones this week?
I got to think of something. I never was a Monkees fan, but he seemed like a nice guy and everything.
Yeah.
I was never. I used to watch their show sometimes, but when I was a kid,
Yeah.
But we only had 3 channels. I didn't have a choice. But
right. Well, that's the way most of us grew up.
That's right. But well, I'll look forward to hearing from you again. There, I'll think about Davy Jones. Yeah. If I can think of something, I'm going to play it. I know you emailed me that, and I was going to do something, look it up, but I guess I didn't get around to it. And,
okay, well, I'll get off of here and let you make some music then.
All right, well, see you. Thanks for calling, Bob. Call back.
Okay, yeah, bye.
That was Bob, our Las Vegas correspondent, who snowbirds down there, but he's usually runs a camera here, and he does. He knows a lot about a lot of things, and if you ever watch the show, he's the one that looks like Teddy Roosevelt. Anyway, I'm really getting into this guitar here. It's I already have a guitar, of course. People wonder what goes through guitar players' minds, and financial concerns, of course. Another concern I have is I have this looper, and to save on wires on the floor, I've been using the 9-volt batteries because I can plug it into a power supply, or I could use a 9-volt battery. So I was trying to think. My last battery died on Valentine's Day, and so I was playing a gig then, so I think I had another couple of hours of the gig to play, and then I played the gig again. It's a Tuscan Moon in Kelowna. So here's my little looper here. You know how this works? You do push the button with your foot when you're on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm not playing guitar anymore. It's a loop, So I can play a lead guitar on top of it. See? Look, Ma, no hands. Overdub on top of that. So I just overdubbed it. But anyway, so I used my little looper with batteries, and so I don't know how many gigs. Valentine's Day was February 14th, and this is like March, 5th or 4th or 6th or something. This is March something. And so, I mean, I guess it lasted 3 hours plus 3 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours, I don't know. So I use it for 1 hour a week on Tom's Guitar Show, a little bit before and after, of course, because I plug it in and 15 minutes before the show, and I don't necessarily turn it off right away. And I do my gigs, which are like at least 3 hours each, and do one a week nowadays, every Saturday night. Tuscan Moon in beautiful downtown Kelowna, Iowa. good place for a date. And so anyway, so that's what I think about. How long is this battery last? And you know, maybe it's not good for the planet to be using up batteries. You know, maybe I should I tried the rechargeable batteries, but they don't last very long at all. So maybe I should plug it in the power supply. But then I got more wires in the floor, and I don't want to step on the wire. This is what I think about. Okay, probably think. And I think about other things like C minor. We talked about C minor before, and what is C minor? Well, it's 3 flats. You know, B flat, E flat, and A flat, right? And so, but of course, when you're playing the C minor, you want to play a harmonic minor scale, so you don't flat the B. You sharp your flatted B, make it a B natural. So you play your scale, you know, like C. So what do I think about? I could think about all the fun and everything, but what I'm really thinking about is, what key am I in again? I accidentally played an E natural. This uses a B natural. something like that. Well, it's a pretty nice guitar. I like it. I don't know if I like it that much. I don't know. But I brought another one. Let's see what else I have. Hang on. Turn that down. This is just really slick, though. The guy who designed this one, though, they were famous for their like really wild metal guitars, just like real look like lightning bolts and things. And I went to a trade show a long time ago, and at that time, the Dean company, Dean guitars, I think they were made in the U.S. Excuse me. Never turn your back on the audience. But what they were famous for was they had women in with really short shorts and like high, and like really big boots and really small pants, I guess, and they would pose with their legs up, with their high heels, with these guitars, and that was sort of their trademark marketing thing, and some sort of guitar fantasy. And there's this notion I keep hearing about how if you play guitar, you get a lot more dates than people who don't play guitar, and I don't think that's necessarily true. Of course, I grew up as a classical guitarist, so that's different, But anyway, when I went to this trade show, I was just a young pup and everything, and I happened by the Dean booth, this big trade show in Chicago, and I noticed that these women, these models, the Dean babies, were a little older than I thought they were when they get up kind of close to them, And I think women in their 40s are just wonderful, beautiful, and everything. But never mind talking about. Anyway, this is my main gig guitar these days. This is a Diarman X155. It's not for sale. I've had this for... Well, I remember that I'd had this guitar for a while in 2001. So I probably had it since at least 1999. So, I mean, yeah. I don't know how long I've had this thing. This was hanging on a wall in a guitar shop in Cedar Rapids, which has since changed hands, and maybe a long time, Village. And this was because in the 90s, there was a big swing dancing craze, which is still going on. People are doing swing dancing, but there's like a lot of swing dancing, and I think they built these. This is a replica of a Guild Manhattan, and from 1958 type of guitar. I think they built these so you could play swing, and it hung on the wall for a couple of years, and the guy couldn't sell it, so he gave me a really good price on it. I didn't really have the money for it, but I kind of ruined my finances getting this guitar, and I had that buyer remorse, that regret one always has. But now, all these years later, this guitar's been paid off for a really long time now. It really wasn't that much, It's like, I think I gave $650 for it. It was a $1,300 guitar or something like that. And the guy was happy to get rid of it because, once again, people want to buy those heavy metal guitars that have angles and maybe a picture of a skull on it and stuff like that. And not me, though. This guitar, to me, says class. Even classier if it were in tune. There we go. Well, I like this guitar a lot too. I'm nice thing I got a lot of guitars to choose from. In fact, since I've come this far, hang on a second here. Among the guitars that I have to choose from here, hang on, here we go. Now this was my guitar. See how long this guy's strap's kind of long. Yeah. In a fit of poverty and desperation, I sold this guitar. Oh, look at that! It's just green enough that the green screen, there we go. Well, the chroma key was picking it up. Oh boy! All right, I'm gonna tune it up. This is a really, well, pretty nice Telecaster here. But being a Telecaster doesn't like the lights. It's buzzing. But I sold this to Josh, our fearless leader here at the TV station. This is PATV, by the way. Your neighborhood network. And anybody can make a show. Which I've proved. I've made about 800 shows by now, but I mean, you can't just walk in the door and make a show. But there we go. I think I know why I used to like this guitar a lot. Is playing a guitar you sold to somebody else. It's kind of like, I suppose, like you could see your ex-girlfriend downtown with her husband, you know, and I suppose what emotions would a fellow? I mean, something like, "Boy, I sure dodged a bullet that time," or no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that out loud, did I? I'm talking to the cameraman I'm looking to you for moral guidance, but I don't. Sorry. I didn't say that. Okay. Anyway, and Banjo Dave, if you're watching this on the internet, you know, you're talking about getting a Telecaster. I know. See, these people who take lessons from me, they've got like, they're getting the same disease. I start acquiring more instruments. Some of them want to play, you know, play banjo for a while and say, well, I think I'd like to play guitar too. So okay, you can, you know. The banjo skills translate well to guitar. There's a little different. There's a different fingering system, and you know, there's it's a lot closer than like a clarinet is to a guitar. So so the guy, you know, gets a guitar, and then he gets another guitar, and then he says, well, you know, how about the bass? You know, the bass is kind of like the guitar. I say, well, the things you learned on guitar will translate well to the bass. So he gets a bass guitar. Okay. So the other guy, you know, there's another guy who's guitar, and then he got a different guitar. He got another guitar, and I was talking about banjos, you know. And there's a mandolin student I have who had been playing mandolin for a long time, but said, you know, I kind of like the guitar. You know, maybe I could get a guitar. So he got a guitar, and yeah, you know, you learn how to play. You learn how to do. Anyway, it's called guitar acquisition syndrome. But anyway,
I don't know if this is the
that mic isn't live. This one seems to be. That one doesn't have a cable. It seems to be.
Okay. Well, no, I just wanted to ask. Well, in here, I'm looking at the monitor. It's more of a. It's a little green. It looked like more of an aquamarine blue out there. I was thinking of like a 62 or a 63, 64 Chevy Biscayne, you know, two-tone.
Yeah.
So what's the age of the guitar? Like this is circa,
This is mid-90s.
Mid-90s, okay.
Yeah.
Is it, and you may have said this already, I didn't catch it, is like a duplicate of an earlier guitar?
No, the guitar itself came out in 1950, like 1950, 51, and then 52 it became named the Telecaster. Because first it was a broadcast. Somebody sued Fender because he couldn't call it that, so it had the No-Caster. It didn't have a name on it.
Okay.
And then he came up with the name Telecaster, and it's been that since 1952. The actual color, I think it was a limited run in the mid-90s when they liked these colors. But the thing that happened, like in the 60s especially, is that they started using like the same paint they use on cars, like the fancy cars, and stuff. There's a little, you can't really see this very well. There's sort of metal flake to it if you shine the light on. You get
from here I can tell. Yep.
Yeah, a little shininess on it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of flashy. But yeah, they started painting guitar. See, there's a thing that happened. Like the Beach Boys were very popular, and they were singing songs about surfing. You see. And if you live in the cornfields, you can't, there's no surfing to be done, really, So you...
prairie schooners.
Yeah, prairie schooners, but yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same, But what you can do is you have a car, and so you could paint your car up and you can drive around the town square over and over, scooping the loop over and over. So, and American graffiti, they drive around. And so they painted these cars with this metal flake color. And I have a couple of guitars, they have metal flake paint, and there's a candy apple red Stratocaster copy made in Canada, which has that I've had in the show a bunch of times. It's that metal flake. I have a guitar that's like this, only flakier and greener. It's kind of cheap, but it's fun to play with. But anyway, they started painting guitars with the car paint and making them flashy, and because the guitars are all about fantasies for a lot of people. My fantasy is actually to play really well, you see, and it's not the same, but there's this, I have these students who say, well, this one guy takes lessons. He wants his son to practice guitar more because he'll get more women when he goes to college. You see, and I was thinking,
it's not good. Not a solid motivation.
Well, if you're a classical guitarist, it doesn't work. I don't think. You might get to date an oboe player. But they go crazy after a while because the air.
Or be a harp player.
A harp, yeah. Well, no, you're not lucky because you got to carry his or her harp.
Biggest instrument to carry around.
I know they always need a friend, and if you have a truck or a van, then that's it. You're their servant and roadie and porter. But
unfortunately,
I knew a harp player, and she had a boyfriend who seemed like a really really nice guy, and I remember seeing him with the harp on his back, bent over like this, taking baby steps. So yeah, it might sound real nice, but then they have so much trouble tuning. I think that drives them crazy after a while. I've known some harp players; they're amazing people. I've tried to play a little harp myself. I like to pluck things, and I never played a real harp, but small or ethnic harps and things. I can do stuff on them, because I pluck. But they, yeah. If there's anybody out there who plays harp, congratulations. It's a wonderful thing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and bring the harp in and bring it to Tom's Guitar Show. We could
bring it on the show, and better you than me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their responsibility to transport.
That's
the harp.
right. That's right. But they got to bring it themselves. I've got enough to worry about. But
our volunteers won't go that far.
Yeah, they go pretty far, but not that far. No. We have a.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the string band that's going to the next Tom's Guitar Show special at the end of March. I don't know the date, but. One of the string bass and accordion player, because we're all going to be switching the instruments a lot. See, that's the thing with it that's happening when people take lessons from me is they become instrumental. It's contagious.
Sounds like Joey, accordion bass player.
Joey, yeah, she's
been on before.
But she has a friend who plays the harp, and her friend is we're trying to convince her. She's trying to convince her friend to join the group, do some things, but she was going to get a folk harp, like a Celtic, Irish
be cool.
harp.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because it's a lot smaller and easier to carry, you could show up at a gig with it and you wouldn't have to tune it for.
That would be
2
fun.
hours.
I hope that works out. Yeah, that'd be a nice addition.
Because I don't think it would be that hard to go from being a concert harp player to having a little folk harp and being able to get around with them. They're diatonic, but you have little levers on the more expensive ones. You have little levers on them. You can flip them and change the key. Do half steps so you can be in a different. Like harmonicas, you have harmonicas playing certain keys, and like these Celtic harps play in certain keys, so you just flip the levers and you can change keys on them.
Keys.
So
oh, that'd be good. As far as I know, we've never had a harp on Tom's.
Well, I'm hoping this person shows up someday and starts working with us, because there's all kinds of stuff we could play, and it would be fun to have a harp. I would really like to. I've done some things with harp players, just a little bit. Actually, I had a gig once and in the lobby at Hampshire, and back in the old days when Hampshire was before it flooded. But anyway, I was at one end doing the classical guitar thing, and there's this woman who's at the other end playing a harp, and I kind of knew her because I knew her before. And I went over and I kind of jammed with her a little bit, because everybody went inside for a fundraising thing. Everybody went inside and did their thing, and we were there. You get to have the hors d'oeuvres and stuff, leftover hors d'oeuvres when all the quality people go in there, to get entice them to get their checkbooks out, And so we jammed a little bit. I thought, that's classical guitar and harp. I've heard it before, but it really goes together well.
Cool.
So I don't know about.
Yeah, the only other comment I was going to make is it's interesting how sensitive the chroma key is, because even though your guitar is green, well, initially we're picking up at the close-ups, we're not picking up, and it's just a different shade of green.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a blue to it, and so I guess the chroma key has to be that green,
right?
So which is kind of
interesting,
sensitive, yeah.
But in the old days, when I used to have this guitar, and then I have a blue one, the blue Stratocaster I've had on the show quite a bit. And by the way, this is where my guitar, I'd have this white taken off, replaced with another color, black or the brown tortoiseshell, and I'd have the pickups replaced with the noiseless pickups, because it's kind of.
Okay.
But anyway, what we used to do, we'd use a chroma key, and then the only thing that it would pick up would be the guitar, and we'd play Three Stooges movies and stuff, or have flames or running water or whatever, like somebody's holiday, video. Home movie, we'd play that, and of course you'd only see the one little bit of it that's on the guitar, but the guitar would look like running water or a campfire or Three Stooges having a pie fight, and you wouldn't really see the whole thing. You might see a pie flag across the guitar, but
all the things that can be done at PATV for those of people out there who are interested in making television.
That's right. You could experiment, and it doesn't matter. Nobody has to get hurt, and it's doesn't cost anything really. You have to take the workshops and stuff. You can volunteer.
Okay, good deal.
Anyway. Well, anyway, I got it in for Josh. This is a great guitar, actually. I think Telecaster's a wonderful guitar. And hang on. I got to switch off, though, one more time before the show is over and give this other one a chance. What I One second here. What I mentioned last week at the Tom's Guitar Show special was that I'm really interested in the work of Ted Green. And the thing about him, he went through a whole lot of guitars. His favorite, though, he was a champion of the Telecaster, and he played, I guess you call it jazz. He was interviewed once, and he was somebody asked him, said, "Are you a jazz guitar player?" He said, "Sometimes." Which, if you want to, sort of thing I mentioned on my Twitter